Welcome to this unboxing. This a special one for me. It's been a long time in coming. This is Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, the original Kickstarter. It's just been sitting on my shelf for such a long time. Haven't had a chance to get round to it. I decided today was the day, so let's get into it. Let's see what we've got here. This will be the unboxing of Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. First of all in shrink wrap. You can see that there. And it's got a special little sticker at the top here. I have no idea what that means. CB-NIAMH, which came as it came. I assume that's some sort of Kickstarter reference. And just love this artwork. So good indeed. Look at that. So symbolic. Tainted Grail. You've got a sword there. You've got some sort of statue overlooking it. A knight of some sort, maybe. Who knows? Among ruins and fire. So I just love that. Let's have a look at the sides. Let's look at the top side first. Tainted Grail. We've got it there. The Fall of Avalon by Awaken Realms. And let's go around. So you can see the artwork from the front actually wraps around. So you can see that there coming through all the way to the other side. The same with the bottom, I dare say. There we go. Yeah, so the artwork, the wording on each side is the same, but it's just that artwork that wraps around from side to side, which is there. So those are all four sides of this box. Let's look at the back now. There we have the back. You can see there, a bit of a background blurb, I like to call it there. You can pause that and read that. We've got the components that are in this. It says that there are 15 chapters, about 2 to 3 hours each, so plenty of gameplay for 1 to 4 players. Let's have a look at the box. Actually, we'll go just here. Reviewers' opinions. We've got Man versus Meeple, rolling solo. Rado runs through the Maguire review, Crabbok, and Board Game Coffee. That's what the game looks like when it's on the board. So you can see it's sort of like one of those games where you've got the cards and they make the map, and then you put your pieces on the map. Undoubtedly there'll be references on these cards to some other cards or the book. Even we can see the game book there. You'll read that out. That'll get you through these chapters that they talk about over on the right side there. You can see there 2 of the player boards as well that are shown there. So let's get into opening this up. I have been looking forward to this for quite some time. Using my trusty knife, just going down the side. Don't want to wreck this one for obvious reasons. So just being very careful. More so than I normally am. I know, unusual for me. Can I get down there? I can. Down that side, down the left-hand side. Let's get it in there. Got that coming through, and down the final side. There we go, that was a bit easier. Off comes that back bit of plastic off to one side. We can see it a bit better there. Slight linen, I call it linen finish because I can see some cross hatching going on there in the light. Flip that over. Let's take the top off. See if they've done me proud and have put something on the inside cover. It's a long time ago, so possibly not. Let's have a look. They've made it nice and dark, so I'm still happy with that rather than just leaving that as the cardboard, which has been untouched. Put that off to one side. Look what we get here. Straight away, we get the rule book, which says start here. Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon, start here. This open and play guide will help you set up and start your first single-player adventure in Avalon and teach you all the basic game rules. Built for approximately an hour of play, it does not include any spoilers for the main campaign. Brilliant. I love the way they've done that. So I think I'm going to, well, they've got, it's one here. Unpack your models. For some reason I read that as a D rather than a 1. Unpack your models. So we've got some models there. They'll look brilliant painted up, I dare say. 2, unpack universal markers. 3, take the blue character tray. 4, set up your character. Continues over here. Insert the tile into the tray. Unpack the open and play deck. Set up combat and diplomacy decks. Set up your encounter decks and the starting location cards. I won't go through all of this, but you can see there it is fairly well written, I believe, just looking at that. They've put a lot of thought into that in terms of going from one part to the next as to how to do this all, as well as the tutorial save sheet that is written there. So that's the start here brochure. I'm going to flip that over, put that there. Again, beautiful artwork on this rulebook. You can see their rulebook. Same as we saw on the front cover, glossy sort of finish there. So that's nice. It fits the box perfectly, but not so much that it's going to be hard to get out. This book is 24 pages long. So it'll be fairly detailed for a game of this sort. And you can see there just everything that you get here. You get some beautifully crafted models that are there. You've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 models. We get a whole lot of other components as well as cards, plastic components you see at the top there. We get some beautiful artwork in here, lovely use of white space. We've got there, it looks like someone's written that as well, so that's good to see there in the book. We see what we saw similarly on the back, which is the layout of a game in progress, and including everything that you'll need, and it's labeled very well, so I'm very happy with that. Campaign setup, character setup, world setup. Playing the game, the order of the day. Basic rules, survival tracks, character attributes and resources, locations. Guardians, death and insanity, saving the game. So you can see they've got very good use of a card there and the numbers showing exactly what each part of the card is representing or showing us, the player. Keeping on going here, we've got an example of combat. No doubt that will be very important. Diplomacy as well. We've got other diplomacy rules. Yeah, just very well set out, and a really extensive index. So that is great to see there as well. And a rule summary on the back page, as one would expect. Order of the day, etc. So you read obviously the rules book, and then you've got the summary here just as a reminder. Opening this up, we've got now we've got an exploration journal here that's been sticky taped down. It's got some card there because it's a ring binder, and that's protecting it. So that is great to see that they've decided to protect that rather than leave that loose. So if I can just get my fingernails underneath this sticky tape. And the book has protective plastic over it as well, as you can see that there. I might actually, because of that extra protective plastic, I'm just going to use my knife at a side-on angle like that to get underneath that sticky tape. Bring that up. You can see the binding there on the side that's protecting, so that's really, really good. Take off, so that sticky tape went all the way down the back, and now doing this again very carefully. I think I'll start back here, right in the bottom corner, get that underneath there, and then underneath here, making sure I'm not digging into that book as I go. So I'll open this up. I'll just flick through this very quickly. Look, if you decide to look too closely, turn away now. I don't think it will really harm too many people to see it, but yeah, turn away now because I'm just going to flick through it quickly so you can see there. What is the exploration journal using it? Player notes. We've got, would be chapter maybe 101, Quannock Farmhold. I hope I've said that correctly. 102, Hunter's Grove. So these are all locations. The Warrior Fair, Charred Conclave, Forlorn Swords, 4 Dweller Molds, the Mound, sorry. It's going to be a whole lot there. So just flicking through that so you can see some of the artwork, which is, this book is beautifully illustrated. We've got up to 180 here. So it probably represents the cards in a way, I'd imagine. And we've got this section. So let's start. We've got 199. Now we've got the Book of Secrets. I've seen that before in other games. I've got Sword and Sorcery, which has something very similar. So we've got numbers referenced here, which you'd read under certain circumstances. So BOS for the Book of Secrets. If you can see that, just put that up there so you can see Book of Secrets. So we've got the tabs that you can see, so you can quickly go to each section. Nice colourful artwork there. Going through, we now have the Tutorial Exploration Journal, TEJ in green. That's obviously a tutorial there. Go 101, 102, 107. So that's the tutorial, just 2 pages in length. And we're to the back cover, which is blank. So that felt really good in hand, nice and heavy as well. Let's go here, see what we get. We have here I don't know how to say that. So we have a note here by Niente, the priestess of Kunach. Turning that over, that's blank on that side. We now have 2 Alrev, Fael, master huntsman of Kunach. So that's that one there. Turning that over, we have 3 Maggot. Blank on that side. Number 4, Bayor. So these might be the players that you get to play in this game. I'm not too sure. It sounds familiar-ish. Niam, Orbit Master Pathfinder of Kunach. So there you go. There's 5 of those sheets. Very, what's the word I want? So I like the way that they've printed the paper. You can see that sort of background there. Again, I'll bring that up closer. It's got the aged sort of look to it. And it is a very nice sort of feel of paper as well. Looking at the next few pieces of paper we get looks like a map. We get 4 of them, so that would be 1 for each player, I suspect. Not 100% sure of that. They're all identical. The backs are all blank for those. Made of the same paper that we saw in the ones we just went through. So let's have a look at that. So we've got there, this is obviously the territory which we traverse over, and there's Kunach right there down the bottom. We have a Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon save sheet. So obviously we'd put player notes in there. Not too many pieces of paper, but it's such a long game, I don't think you probably need a lot. Looking at the back, we've got statuses of different things. I don't know what they are again, but looking down there, it looks like they've thought of pretty much everything, including removed locations that are there. Look, if you've got 4 players and you're playing this through once, then that's 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. If you played it through again, 1, 2, 3, 4, another 4, you know, that you'd be playing this with, we wouldn't be playing it there with that many people, I think, overall. So plenty of save sheets there for everyone. We have here a punch board punch out. There's Niam, and again, I don't know if this is a Kickstarter exclusive. There's a setup for Niam. There's some things with her. Play with this side down, it says. So obviously I'm going to go through this, so a lot of spoilers for those who would want to see this game, but also not spoilers if you want to see what's in the box. This is the unboxing, so you've got to take it as it is. And that looks very nice. Put that over to that side. We've got some silica gel going down there, so I'll throw that off to that side. We've got some little places to put our fingers, so we can pull these out nice and easily. If I use the one that's down here, and this actually, what's this one do? Ah, I see, so we've got a board coming out that way. So we have more characters, and if we go back to Niam, we can see here how this character would sit in a slot here, like this character, Eli, and that's what we read on one of those first pieces of paper. These are dual layered, so I don't know if you can see that right there, but you can put bits and pieces there and they're not going to slide. Again, probably cubes in these slots here and in these slots down the side as well as over here. Let's get into this one, open this up. There's no easy way to open this up, so other than to slit the knife in the side there like that. So I'm going to do that. That's what it's requesting of me. And when that's in there, then I'll do that and pull away that plastic shrink wrap, and that can go off to the other side. So these are the player boards. We've got 4 of them. Interesting that Niam just comes with that without a player board at the moment. It might be hidden away somewhere. There are a few other packages. At the moment, I'm just going to open this one, and then I'll do other unboxings of the other packages that we've got also. So there's Niam. Let's look at this one. Avalon. Now, if I look at that, we'll just look at that. You can pause that again. You can see there food, wealth, reputation, experience, magic, which is the same on all the boards. They're just different colors. There's Bayor, there's Maggot, there's a Rev there as well. So pretty much the same, I think, on all of them. Just the difference in the colors and obviously the player board there. If I flip it over, let's have a look at that. All of the same on the reverse sides. We've got this little finger tab right here, which allows us to pop out the character sheet. There you go, place your character sheet here. So again, that's what you do with Niam. It's a pity that there isn't a red board specifically for her, but that it is the way it is. So looking at Avalon, that's that side, and flipping it over so you can see the other side. Play with this side down, it says. Put that one there, and put that up there for now, as well as that one. Let's look at Bayor. Inserting my finger there. There's that side, has craft and festering wound. On the other side, shows you the setup and the starting attributes. So obviously you put these cubes in these spaces. Put that one back there, and next we'll look at Maggot. Find the place to flip that. There's Maggot on that side. It starts with 2 food and 2 magic. Starting attributes are there. Put that one back in that slot. Now we have a Rev. Really can't wait to play this. I've been waiting for so long. As we all know, sometimes it can be hard to find people to play these with. So I love the imagery, like just the artwork in this is just fantastic. Really makes you want to play it as it should be in this type of game. So there we go, player boards are there. Now what we have is this plastic bit. So the player boards are recessed and sit there in that recessed plastic. I can take that off. You see there, Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon written right there. Put that off to that side. We've got everything else in the box. This has places here where you can actually lift this up. I will do that right now just to see if there's anything underneath it. I don't think there is. I'll just wait for that truck to go by. And the trucks sort of want to go by. Put that back so we can see it. Just that nice black in the box. Will that go back nicely? It will go back nicely-ish. It's just at an angle at the moment. There we go. So let's start over here, I think. We've got 2 really nice dice. Let's have a look at these dice. So we have a directional dice, north, south, east, west, X, and blank. We have a numbered die here, 1 through to 6, with some nice sort of artwork around each of the numbers. So they're just normal plastic dice, normal size, I would say, that they've got a nice slot they can go in there. Here we have the minis. Let's have a look at these. We've got this mini here. That looks excellent. I think that'll look brilliant painted up. You can see there all the detail, lots of detail on that chainmail, on the armor, on the face as well, or where the face should be. There's absolutely gorgeous mini to look at. Put that one back there. Let's bring out this second character. They fit in very tightly, so they're definitely not going to fall out. You can see there, looking at the back of that one. Very good. Number 3. One of the female characters. Looks very good. The fourth one, that one comes out a bit easier, which is just as well because it has this long thing here, which is only just attached to the bottom there, and that could break easily, but it feels quite secure enough anyway. They're plastic, but they've got a great lot of detail on them. We're up to number 5 now. See that one. Number 6. Looks good. Number 7. So now we've got what looks like those big, I don't know what you'd call them, but I do like the fact that they are large, and again, a lot of detail on them. You can see the back there, the remains of some sort of fighter, a knight, I think you'd have to say. A few, looks like multiple arms there going across of whatever this creature is, with bandaged or chained at the top of their arm. That goes back there. On that side, so they're all on their side. I must remember that when I put them back. This next one, there's just a lot of detail there, which will be, again, brilliant to see when they're painted up. And you can see where that's actually been attached, just in there at the base. That went on its side, and this last one was on its side as well. Again, just a slightly different pose or stance. There we have it. So they are all the minis. We have here, what do we have here? A few plastic bags to put things in. 2 plastic bags there, Ziploc bags. We've got these tokens, and I don't know whether these are money or not. They're plastic, jingling about. They're double-sided with a skull on one side and a cup on the other side that you can see there. In this one, we have 2 more Ziploc bags. Let's put those back in there. We have some more plastic pieces. Again, I'm not too sure what they are. They were in the components list. Similarly, we've got a cup on one side and an hourglass, I think that is, on the grey one. So a cup on the gold-looking tokens that are there. And then we have these 1, 2, 3, 4 plastic red things. They've got different, I think they're different emblems. Or that one at the top there is different. You can see that. But these other 3 look very similar. We will look at what's down here next. So we have a lot of cubes, a lot of red cubes, and equivalent, well, not equivalent, definitely a smaller number of purple cubes that are there, and we saw that they will fit into the player boards. Okay, so we've got a lot of different decks to go through here, and what I'm going to do is show you this piece of plastic Ziploc bag, and I think I'll go through them starting now. I might have to break this up into a couple of different videos, but we're definitely going to have a look at all these cards, not in a great lot of detail like I normally do. Again, don't want too many spoilers for myself as much as anything. I know I'm not going to remember them, and chances are you're not either, but for those who are interested, let's have a look at these cards. These are the item cards, they say on the back, and it looks like they are all item cards, and a lot of them all have the same back. Yep, let's go through these anyway. So Pristine Weirdstone, we've got Distrust, so they're numbered 1442, not in any order. The Fall of Avalon is there. Disturbed Rest, Hopeful Settlers, Nazar's Saber, Rusty Sword. We've got 2 of those. We have Poisoned Dagger, a weapon, a Clan Sword, a weapon, Runic Sword, Hunting Spear, Giant Sledgehammer. These aren't numbered. Weapon, which is a bow, an arcane staff, horse axe, javelin, fishing net, improvised armor, so now into armor. 2 of those. We have a battered shield, 2 of those. Battle horn, a helmet of a hero, kite shield, wicker shield, ornamental armor, masterwork armor, adventurer's kit. So yeah, these are still items. 2, 3, 4 of those. We have a riding donkey. That's interesting. A steadfast palare, fine garments, lucky charm, desiccated advisor. Ooh. Petty trinkets again. Oiled tent, precious memento, moldy tome, sacred incense, weird stone heart, piercing chimes, ritual chalk, old crow, lucky piglet, mysterious badger, feral cat, experienced guide, grim mercenary, mercurial scold, sullen handmaid, snare ×2, mind-numbing draft, healing extract, 2 of those, wayfarer leaves, 2 of those, there's mead, 2 of those, third eye, smoke bomb, 2 of those, Morrigan's blood, all mother's tear, 2 of those, and shadow soaked scroll, and witch's bile is the last one. So those are all the items that were in that pack, and that pack went there. That fits in nicely. We now have some different cards, secrets. They're numbered on the back, so that again is interesting. How can I get this in without damaging the cards? There we go. So, all right, secrets. Let's look at the back at some of these. 15, 73, 51, 37 for lots of them. And secrets end there, maybe? I'm not too sure. Let's put that half down for now. We'll go through these secrets. I'm going to flip this half over. We have old steel smasher, so weapon, relic, crawling ring, 4 dweller bauble, a tainted grail, must be what we're after, Excalibur's scabbard, Stagfather's charm, stone shaper's tools, menhir rights, red sign, 2, 3, 4 of those, coat of plates, tarnished talisman, shining talisman, true grail, Morrigan's head, burial mask, sensitive information, redemption, famished prisoner, pouch of diamonds, refined soul mass, hunted, disturbing find, pale crystals, red fern discovery, Excalibur, sigil discovery, hand of the people, in search of power, enrage, Kozuel, the restless, is a companion, crest of the order and armed retinue, and crude menhir. So those are all of the secrets that were in that half, and they all have different numbers. You can see that there as I go through. Oh, actually we have those 66s because they were repeated. So you probably dare say you have to draw those at some stage. Let's have a look at this other half. They look very interesting. They also have numbers on them. 71, 72, 70. So they're double-sided and the numbers continue. That's interesting. So we're going to have to go through these and I'll turn them over. So monstrous strength, dual wielding on the other side, combat reflexes, now or never. We have exertion and feast of heroes, last breath, one step ahead, hate infusion, elbow grease, combat instinct, swiftness, inexhaustible stamina, tireless, bodyguard, inspiring leader, always forward, forge ahead, inspiration, Do or Die, Daring Explorer, Devil's Deal, Survival Diet, Fear to Fuel, Barter, Slick Salesman, Collector, Hunger Resistant, Bounty Hunter, Traveler's Rights, Foresight, Tracker, Pickpocket, Gambling, Expert Hunter, Cannibalism, Motivation, Unconventional Remedies, Coercion, Charity, Power Transfer, Boldness, Insight, Fast Learner, Paragon of Hope, Common Understanding, Perseverance, Clear-Minded, Martial Arts Expert, Sneak Attack, Resilience, Calming Presence, Sharp Senses, Lucky, Deception, Last Resort, Rogue Tactics, Skillful, Call for Aid, Careful Movement, Drain Magic, Drain Health, Power of Ages, Enkindler, Spirit Walker, Menhir Affinity, Arms, Asceticism, Communion, Face Your Fears, Total Focus, and Deadly Magic is the last one of those. So that's interesting. I don't know what they're for, but they're all numbered, as are the secrets. So I'll put all of those back where I found them, and I found them right there. Excuse me while I cough. Let's do this big deck. It looks really interesting. Big cards, oversized card, order of the day. So immediately it looks as though we have some player aids that are there. If I can get my knife in carefully, there we go. Get a finger in to take off that shrink wrap. So we have 1, 2, 3, yes, 4. So these are helper cards for each of the players, and the same on that side. I dare say they're going to be the same on this side also. So action overview and order of the day. Yes, so 4 of those. We have an icon glossary, again 4 of those, so that each player can reference the icons, and combat and diplomacy icons that you can see there. We have combat overview. So we do not have 4 of those, just 1, and diplomacy overview. So that will have to be shared between the players. Now we have all of these cards here, and it looks like we flip them over to that side. This is sort of like a card you put down, you explore it, and you flip it over, maybe see that side, and you can then go in different directions. I suspect that's the way it's done. So that's 101, 113. Okay, I'm going to have to flip these over so you can see both sides, so we can go through all of them again reasonably quickly. Cunnock Farmhold, Hunter's Grove. So these will be in order, I suspect. There's 102, 101, 103 is this one, Warrior's Fair. So I like the artwork on all of these, and I suspect they're all going to be different. So a lot of time and effort has gone into these. Charred Conclave, we see there. Beautiful diagrams, beautiful artwork. Forlorn Swords, Four Dweller Mountains, Whitening, Grubwood, Island Asylum, Haunted Grubwood, Underwall, Bloodied Glen, Mirror Lake, Tangle Root, Titan's Steps, Farshire, like that picture, First Farmhold, Stampede. So obviously these are oversized cards. They're quite thick cards, but they're oversized so you can put the models on them. Derelict Fleet, Horns of South, Broken Kunuk, Drained Lake, Sunken Mounds, Titan's Steps, Collapsed Dolmen, Timberwall, Serene Visage, Moonring, Falfuar, Bundorka, Brock Kruak, Conquered Timberwall. Nice darkness there. Plagued Burrow, Devastation, Dark Morass, Weird Edge, Quiet Burrow, Abandoned Falfuar, Faldorka, Broken Broch, Valley of Guardians, Long Barrow, Halfway, Fernsea, Tombs of the Order, Forest of Whispers, Riverfall, Shimmering Flats, Halfway Meeting, Crow's Nest, Farpoint, Corbenic, Raised Nest, Farpoint Refuge, Oran's Resolve, Heart of Tuatan, Camelot, Besieged Camelot, Tuatan, or Tuathan. Looks like that's repeated, so 199 is repeated 1, 2, 3, I think it's 4, 5 times. But they do have differences on the reverse side. So you go, those are all the location cards as well as the player aids. That is the map cards, that is when I say location cards. And they have a nice place to sit there, remembering that there's that plastic bit which goes over, stops them from falling out everywhere. Wait for that plane to pass overhead. Okay, getting into this next deck, we have Niam. And what do we have here? So open and play, do not shuffle this card pack. Diplomacy. Okay, so we do the diplomacy cards next. And they are all diplomacy cards. They're not numbered, although they do change colour there into combat cards. You can see there, diplomacy and combat cards. Let's go through the diplomacy first of all. Flipping that over. We have Niam Pleading, Niam Allure, Niam Sly Tongue, Niam Indecent Suggestion, Verbosity, Deceive, False Oath, Long Forgotten Tune, Innocent Smile, 2 of those Manipulation, Cantrip, Swindle, Hidden Advisors, and Pitiful Sob. And then for our combat cards, tipping those over, Tendon Cut, again Niam, Bite, Lure, Furious Stab, Scurry Away, Backstab, Diversion, Legacy of Centuries, Unyielding Swarm, Go for the Eyes, Cornered Rat, Gnaw, Smaller Friends, Foul Play, and 1,000 Cuts. And it looks like you can chain these. You can see how we've got a side here, and if we put 2 sides together where it matches, for example, right down the bottom there, that looks like a chaining action that you can do. So you can see there how they can chain in certain places. That looks very interesting, or add a different dimension to the game. I'm going to put those together there, and I'm going to put them in there. Taking out the rest of these, let's have a look at these open and play. Do not shuffle this card pack. Hopefully they are numbered though, so they can be put back in the right order. If not, then this is one reason why I do these unboxings and show these cards in order, so that you can re-put them in the order they come in. Let's just look at the backs of these. So this is Combat again. And then we've got Diplomacy there again. So the previous lot didn't say to do not shuffle that card deck, but this one definitely does. It's got your first encounter there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, one for each player, I suspect. Then we get into Diplomacy. Then we get into Combat. Okay, interesting. So looking through this, just so that if you want to put them back in order, because they don't seem to have numbers on them, which is a bit of a pity. So, Suspicious Guard, Mist-Shaped Vermin, another one of those. So are they the same? They look pretty much identical to me. So we have, start again. Suspicious Guard, Mist-Shaped Vermin, 1, 2, 3 of those. Then we have Might Makes Right. Then we have Desperate Measures, Evasiveness, Eye for Detail, Bizarre Methods, Bribery, Threatening Voice, Stall for Time, Bizarre Methods, Might Makes Right, Threatening Voice, Misdirection, Show Off, Backtrack, Eye for Detail, Attack, Crippling Strike, Risky Attack, Powerful Blow, Risky Attack, Final Blow, Defend, Grapple, Hold Guard, Throw, Battle Cry, Powerful Blow, Ignore Pain, Reposition, Attack, and then we've got the saved encounters. So that's interesting. It says open and play, do not shuffle this card pack. Well, this was a card pack, so I'm going to keep that like that. I think that's what it means. Now going through these, we have something that looks like weather cards. My voice is definitely going to go by the end of this with all this reading. Take off that shrink wrap from this pack. Let's see what we've got here. We have chapter 14, 15, 13, 12. So the setup for all the chapters. There we go. And then we get random event cards. And they're not numbered on that side. So we'll flip over the random event cards, see what we get. Good weather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 of those. Heavy rainfall. 1, 2 of those. Violent thunderstorm, just 1. Dense mists. 2 of those. Unnatural chill, just 1. Full moon, 1. Blood moon, 1. Howling gale, 1. Beautiful weather, 2 of those. Night assault. Beast on the prowl. Wandering beast and new threat. They are our random event cards. And again, I'll just quickly go through these. I'm not going to read them all out necessarily. So we've got the setup cards. I'll just put them here so you can see them. I'll turn them over. You can pause them in your own time to reference them at a later point in time. Chapter 2, Chapter 3A. They say front and back. 3B. So for 1, 2, and 3 to 4 players, that's good. Chapter 4A. Chapter 4B. Chapter 5. Chapter 6. Chapter 7. Chapter 8. I keep forgetting there's all these chapters that you can play. Chapter 9. Chapter 10. Write in the comments if you've played any of these chapters, what chapter you liked, how you're finding the games, if you've given up on it, you're looking forward to play it more. Chapter 12 now. Chapter 13. And chapter 14. Sorry, and finally chapter 15, because there were 15 chapters. So those are the chapter setup cards that are there, the random event cards. We've gone through those two now. I'm going to put those there, I think. Open up this deck. They look more combat cards. Remember that chaining effect that I was talking about before. It says combat on that side. So a lot of variety in this game already, just by going through all of these cards. Just make sure they're all combat. They do look all combat to me. They've all got the same back. Let's go through this deck of combat cards. I think we've seen some of these before, but let's just go through this deck for completeness. Enrage, Heroic Strike, 2 of those. Faint, Find Weakness, Gather Strength, Onslaught, Intimidate, Charge, 2 of those. Careful Attack, Crippling Strike, Defend, Distraction, Entangling Trap, Gather Thoughts, Hex, Hold Guard, Mock Retreat, Outsmart, Reposition, 2 of those. Support, Surprise Attack, Throw, Outmaneuver, Ingenious Trap, Feint, Defend, Find Weakness, Critical Strike, Careful Planning, Onslaught, Support, Aimed Attack, Attack, Careful Attack, Careful Planning, Defend, 2 of those. Final Blow, Find Weakness, Gather Thoughts, Hold Guard, Ignore Pain, Reposition, Risky Attack, Surprise Attack, 2 of those. Throw, Charge, Heroic Strike, Ingenious Trap, Feint, Outsmart, Crippling Strike, Critical Strike, Entangling Trap, Tactical Sense, Aimed Attack, Hold Guard, Attack, Gather Thoughts, Final Blow, Hex, War Magic, Reposition, Defend, Charge, Entangling Trap, Find Weakness, Distraction, Careful Attack, Battle Cry, Risky Attack, Powerful Blow, and Heroic Strike in that lot of combat cards. I think I'm going to have to find a way to keep these separate. I don't know how I'm going to do that at the moment. Well, one way I guess I could put that lot over here for now. Now we have an advancement pool deck, pack of cards. Let's take the shrink wrap off of that. Off that comes, off to one side. Let's see if they are all the advancement pool cards. Oh, different colors straight away. So they look like each player gets a card, and they're possibly the same on this side. So let's have a look. So we've got Listen in Silence. We have 2 of those. We're up to Diplomacy. Gonna have to separate them. So advancement pool cards, and then we have Diplomacy. Okay. So diplomacy, the rest of this deck is diplomacy, a lot of diplomacy cards here. Quite a big deck. Listen in silence. We have 2 of those. Fiery sermon, simple truth. De-escalation, threatening voice. Negotiations, elaborate argument. And again, you can pause these, look at them a bit more carefully. I'm looking at the artwork as much as anything, and I can see how that's very consistent throughout, and I do like that. Gaius, sinister voice for Bayor. 2 of those. Avoidance, show supremacy, intimidating pose, still in Bayor. Booming voice, 2 of those. Black rage, workers' stories, brutal threat, 2 of those. Might makes a law. Abandon, mock the weak, rule of power, sympathize, 2 of those. Wildflower scent, intoxicating brew, reflection, hide your fears, nature's patience, necessary support, healer's trust, deep insight. Now we're into LA. Where did that start? So we had LA started a bit of a while back. So the last one of Bale was rule of power. Then LA, we had sympathize. We had 2 of those. Wildflower scent, intoxicating brew, reflection, hide your fears, nature's patience, necessary support, healer's trust, deep insight, captivating dance, diagnose, shed tear, augury, signs and omens. Now we have a rev, very bleak joke, 2 of those. Folk rhetoric, persistence, spot danger, war stories, farmer's tattle, seed of doubt, 2 of those. Ancient wisdom, honesty, dark presence, folk wisdom, 2 of those. Nourish sentiment. Now we have maggot, the holiest verse, 2 of those. Artful rhetoric, terrifying Gaia, irresistible sermon, release pain, inspire fear, searing gaze, true sight, 2 of those. Ceremony of life, druid's patience, druid's teaching, 2 of those. And ceremonial dance. So that's a nice set of cards there for diplomacy for each of the characters. Let's just have a quick look at this advancement pool. And again, we've got 2 lots, each in a player color. Flipping them over. Same thing again, just with the colors that are there. So again, I don't know. Maybe they're not player colors. I don't know. Not certain anyway. Getting through these cards now. One more deck here. One more pack. And that says diplomacy. So a lot of diplomacy coming out here. I don't know how diplomacy works in the game. So I'm intrigued already at the diplomacy cards. Let's see. Are they all diplomacy cards? Yes, they are. That's good. Let's go through this pack, this deck. Commanding tone. Listen in silence. Simple truth. Staunch defense. Negotiations. Rowdy stories. Show off. Gather clues. Empathize. Desperate measures. Eye for detail. Flash of insight. Stall for time. Misdirection. Gather clues, bizarre methods, empathize, 2 of those. Desperate measures, masterful acting, soothing voice, captivating song, sweet lies, support, risky ploy, mystic calmness, listen in silence, simple truth, rhetoric, de-escalation, empathize, sweet lies, false promise, mesmerizing dance, risky ploy, bleak joke, bribery, desperate measures, eye for detail, art of deduction, determination, misdirection, simple truth, false promise, 2 of those. Bizarre methods, stall for time, evasiveness, empathize, rhetoric, backtrack, intimidating magic, determination, threatening voice, misdirection, simple truth, listen in silence, gather clues, sweet lies, bribery, mystic calmness, commanding tone, intimidating magic, flash of insight, art of deduction, heroic presence, Staunch Defense, Backtrack, Holy Verse, 2 of those, Rhetoric, Mind Trick, Elaborate Argument, Eye for Detail, Compelling Sermon, and Flash of Insight. I did notice, I didn't make a distinction, but you can see there how that's written in different colours. We've got the purple colours coming up there, then I think we went into a green, there we go, sort of there, then after green we had at the top, like where that's written, we had this sort of darkness, not quite the same purple, and then we went into this colour here, and finally that colour, don't know what you call that, more of a red. So that was that deck of diplomacy cards. Use that as a separation marker. We've got 4 decks to go. We have revealed locations. So we saw the big, large location cards earlier. Now let's look at the revealed locations. Revealed locations, well look, we've got saved events. We have event 1, special I, special H, special G, E, F, G, H, I. Okay, so we're going backwards at the moment. A, B, C, D. Now we've got chapter 15, part 1, chapter 14, part 1. I'm going to put that down as someone enters the house and come back to that in a moment. Apologies for that. Let's get back into it after that short interruption. So revealed locations, we've just gone through them. Let's have a look at just these 2. So we've got the revealed locations, double-sided, saved events, that's double-sided. So these are definitely place markers. These are not, so let's go through these starting from A. The events, and we'll start at special event A. Here we go. And I'll just go through them quickly again. You can pause them in your own time to look at them. Up to C, special event D, E, F, G, H. So we could change the color there. There's a quest in there as well for this one. I. There we go. So those are the special events. I'm going to put those on top there to that side. Now we're going to go through, I think, yes, these chapters. So I've got all these chapter cards here. If I turn all those over, let's go through them. Chapter 1:1, Ancient Knowledge. 1:2, Exodus. 1:3, Signs and Omens. 1:4 is Dying of the Light. 1:5 has a quest, that different color again, A Journey Begins. 1:6, End. I get into chapter 2, Further from Home with a quest. 2:2, Refugees. 2:3, The Search Continues. 3A1, Tainted Grail with a quest. 3A2, Dissolving Grail, yep. 3A3, More Grains Task with a quest. 3A4 has a quest, The Lady's Task. 3A5, Hot Trail. 3B1, Allies Task, quest. 3B2, A Messenger. 4A1, The Resting Place with a quest. 4A2, Dark Tidings with a quest. 4A3 has a quest, The Last Survivor. 4B1 has a quest, The Call. 4B2, The Knight of Daggers with a quest. Crossroads is 4B3. 4B4 has a quest with Mooring Pilgrimage. Sorry, Morning. Mooring? I've got to read it that way now. Moonring Pilgrimage. There we go. 5-1, The Hunt Catches On. 5-2, The Underfern. And just got me there. Simul Acrum, 5-3. 6-1 with a quest, He Who Returned. 6-2, a night battle. 7-1, none shall pass with a quest. 7-2, hidden paths with a quest. 8-1 with a quest into Tuathan. 8-2, Echoes of the Ages. 9-1 has a quest, A Long Way Home. 9-2, Long Way Home and more quests. So they're locked. You can see, I think all the quests have lock symbols at the top. Just interesting that those two have the same title, 9-1 and 9-2 with A Long Way Home. They're definitely different. Are they different cards? Yeah, they're definitely different cards. 10-1, Broken Trails. 10-2, More of the Earth. 10-3, The New Masters. 11-1 with a quest, The Broken World. 11-2 with a quest, The Red Reaper. 12-1, The Fate of Champions with a quest. 13-1, Pathfinder with a quest. 13-2, Unexpected Meeting. 14-1, Explorers of Avalon. 15-1, The Last Verses. And that's the last one for the quest cards. So I'm going to put all those back in order now. With those cards, I think they went on back there. So let's put those there. And I've got my trusty slicer to slice into this deck also. What do we have here? We have encounter cards. So encounter cards, here they are. They look like they're all encounter cards. You can see they finish maybe there. So we've got purple encounter cards, and green encounter cards. I don't know what the differences are, but let's go through this purple lot first of all. So the purple encounter cards, the purple back, you can see there. Here we have Whispering Wisp. 1, 2, 3 of those. Apparition. 2 of those. Weird Claimed. 2 of those. Mist Stalker. 2 of those. Grave Robber. 1. Wandering Priestess. 1 of those. Dread Crawler ×2. Weird Child. 1. Flesh Wraith. 4 Magpies. Travelling Merchant. Disembodied Veracity ×2. Hammer Beak, my apologies, 1 of those. Abatak, 1. Four Dweller Spirit. Ear Hen Rach, 2 of those. Sloth, 1. Four Dweller, 2 of those. Reclaimer, 1. Puka, nice artwork. And Wicker Man. Again, just bring that one up. Looks like a fairly important card. So they also have, as you can see at the top there, these little symbols, and they increase as we went through them to 1, 2, 3, up to 4 as the maximum. Let's see how the green ones fare in comparison to the red ones, their encounters. Again, starting with, I think, they increase, 1 red going up to 4 red as the maximum. We have Glade Hair. 3 of those. Frenzied Boar. 2 of those. Pack of Strays. So these seem to be more normal beasts, I guess. Royal Elk. Could just be at their level 1 at the moment. So 2 of the Royal Elk. Weird Bear. 2 Trapdoor Hunter. 1 Dobar Chu. 1, it's really testing me to read these. Spitslug. Flock of Puffins. Vengeful Druid. Travelling Merchant. Alder Tree. River Nightmare. Underbrush Worm ×2. Giant Runtung. Selkie. Bog Maiden ×2. Weird Hog. times 2, Mulchman, Fae, and Sunworm. So that was the green encounters. We've done the purple and the green encounters. I'm going to put them off to one side because I think actually I'll use one of these plastic bags just to separate these for now. Otherwise I'm running out of dividers to divide them all. Would be nice if there were dividers for all of these. We'll see if there are or aren't coming up. I suspect not, but we'll see. So that was that lot. I'll put them there. 2 more packs left to go through. This one here, encounters for black. So these might be encounters for each player. I really don't know. If you do know, please write in the comments section. We have, I guess, white. I'd have to call it white. I was going to call it black for a moment there. You can see there, that finishes off to blue encounters there. So let's go through the white encounters. First of all, again, starting at the 1 red at the top all the way to 4. We have Crazed Farmhand, Vagabond, times 2, Weird, Claimed, 1, 2, Band of Highwaymen, times 2, Clansman, just one of those, Travelling Merchant, Wandering Priestess, Seasoned Warrior, times 2, Lone Squire, times 2, Bowmaiden, Cattle Raiders, Grey Robber, times 2, Questing Party, Beast Slayer, Hero of Men, Knight Errant, Fetch, Fanatics, times 2, Warband, Archdruid, Rebel Knight, Angry Mob, and Fallen Hero. I will put them in a bag, but I'll put them with the blue lot in a moment. So the blue lot of encounters, again starting at 1, level 1. We have Temptations, Curfew, Breath of Weirdness. So interestingly enough, these have, looks like spaces for cubes maybe on the side of them. I'm not too sure what that's for. Plague, Mourners, Law of Hospitality, Slick Fraudster, Drunken Knight, Weeping Orphan, Hallucinations, Last Resort, Press Gang, False Accusations, Omen, Slighted Nobleman, Jury of Peers, Framed, Robbed, A Feast to Die For, Inquisitor of the Circle, Hunt, Hostile Agent, times 2, Calm Before the Storm. Looks like there's going to be a few of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. 5, but now we're into level 2. So 4 at level 1. Level 2, we've got Calm Before the Storm. 1, 2 of those. Calm Before the Storm at the level 3. I'm talking about the red bits at the top. 1 of those. Okay, so let's put them away in the plastic bag as I wanted to. So apologies for taking your time up here while I'm doing that. Actually, I'll do that afterwards so we can go through the cards quicker. Good choice, LeMonde. So now we have You Are Going Insane, and on the back, some more interesting cards which chain according to the side that is there. So slipping that in and under without damaging the cards. There we go. So thank you for coming this far with me. You're not going insane, even though the card says you are going insane. So we've got a few of these. You Are Going Insane co-op as well. Let's look at the non-co-op version. So a bit of a purpley tinge to those. And they all look the same. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, enough for each, 1 for each player. We have You Are Dying, so that's co-op mode. And again, 1 for each player, and the same on the other side. We have You Are Dying as opposed to Going Insane. And that's what You Are Dying says. We then have some more combat cards in that red color. In fact, the rest of these are going to be combat cards. Let's go through these. Last bit right here, right now. Ingenious Trap. Gather Strength. Ignore Pain. Careful Planning. Onslaught. Inspiring Aura. Heroic Aura. Warm Magic. Mighty Blow for Bior. Now some more Bior. We have Dire Rage. Find Vulnerability. Brutal Intimidation. Brutal Attack. 2 of those. Staggering Strike. 2 of those. Black Blood. Raw Strength. Shoulder Slam. Wrestle. Retribution. 2 of those. Hammer Swipe. And now we have Ally. Blinding Dust ×2. Agile Defense ×2. Nimble Reposition ×2. Itchy Weeds. Target Weak Spot. Rolling Dodge. Sickle Throw, Untouchable. Empowering Brew. Nature's Help. Firm Support ×2. Now we've got Arev, Dirty Tricks. Scythe Pull. Sowing ×2. Reaping ×2. Whirlwind. Long Reach. Spread the Curse. Mercenary Training. Earth Attunement. Cruel Trap. Swift Reposition. Extensive Planning. Scythe Attack. And now we have Maggot. I suspect it's going to be the last lot. Thick Bark Skin. Death Magic ×2. Glimpse of the Future ×2. Vicious Hex ×2. Murder of Crows. Overhead Smash. Rite of Wittering. Snakebite. Stoicism. Defensive Posture. Blood Magic. And Exalted Aura. So those are all of the remaining cards. They were the combat cards. I'm going to put those there. That is everything that you get in the box. Love the minis. Go back, have a look at the minis. We will get them painted up and show what they look like after being painted. So that is everything you get in this box. I've just put the lid off a bit too far out of screen. So it is, of course, let's have a look at this. Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. So thank you very much for staying with me, looking at this unboxing, and there will be more Tainted Grail unboxings to come. So thank you again for that. Please hit that thumbs up button. Also subscribe and share. And and hope you enjoy the game if you've got it. Let me know how it's gone for you, what you've enjoyed in this game, if you're planning on getting any future expansions or upgrades to this as well. So my name's LeMonde, signing off. Thank you very much for joining me.